Hey there everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to install WordPress quick and easy. My name is Clifton with Clifton Creative Academy, where we teach you how to build beautiful and effective websites and how to build a successful website business. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when we release new tutorial videos. Okay, let's begin. How to install WordPress quick and easy. We're basically going to do this in 3 simple steps. Step 1 will be purchasing a domain name. Step 2 we'll be purchasing a hosting account, and step 3 will be installing WordPress. Okay, so let's start with step 1. What is a domain name? A domain name is the website address that is used to visit your site on the internet. You must purchase or register a domain name with the domain registrar in order to build a website accessible by that domain name. Examples of domain names include Amazon.com, Google.com, Apple.com, Yahoo.com, and so on. A domain name can be called anything you want as long as the domain name is available or has not been registered by someone else. Your domain name can end with a .com, .net, .org, and so on. So where do you purchase a domain name? A domain name is purchased from a domain registrar. Examples of domain registrars include Namecheap.com, Register.com, Network Solutions, and GoDaddy. We recommend Namecheap.com because they tend to have better pricing on their domain registrations and have excellent customer services. You can purchase your domain at cliftoncreativeacademy.com/domains. This is an affiliate link and I earn a commission for the recommendation. It does not affect the price you pay for the domain. You're not required to purchase via this link. However, it does help us continue to provide free education. So thank you in advance for using our link. Now, before you purchase a domain, also consider that some web hosts allow you to purchase a domain at the same time you purchase your hosting account. So this can be done in a couple of different ways. You can purchase the domain separately by yourself, which is how I like to do it, or you can actually go directly to the hosting provider, and sometimes they will offer you an opportunity to register your domain at the same time that you are purchasing your web hosting. And we'll talk about web hosting a little bit later on in this tutorial, but I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of that. So now let's go purchase a domain. All right, so this is Namecheap.com, and if you follow the link that I provided with you, it would actually lead you here. You can also come here directly if you don't want to do the affiliate link. That's completely okay, but either way, you can start here and start beginning to hold on to the domains that you have. And then later on, I'll show you how to connect those domains to your hosting once you've purchased hosting. So we're going to go ahead and search for a domain. And I'm going to go ahead and do cliftontutorials.com. I'm going to hit search, and the domain comes up. And you can see that this domain is $8.88 per year. I'm going to simply add this to the cart, and I'm going to go ahead and check out. Now, one of the things I like about Namecheap is that they offer a WhoisGuard free forever. Now, WhoisGuard is basically obscuring your personal information so that people do not search the domain and find out who owns the domain and start sending you spam, which is a common problem in the domain world. So other domain providers don't, I haven't seen another one that provides this service for free, but they provide it for free forever. So that's something to consider when you're considering other domain providers, because there are other ones other than Namecheap. So I like Namecheap. I'm going to go ahead and purchase from them. I'm going to go ahead and confirm my order. And now they're asking me to log in. So if you don't have an account with Namecheap, you would basically go ahead and create an account by creating a username, password, and then entering your personal details. And then once you hit create account and continue, then they would basically walk you through the process of paying for the domain. Okay. Now this domain is going to require an investment of $9.06 for the year. Now I already have an account, so I'm just going to go ahead and log into my account and finish purchasing this domain. I'm going to be checking out with PayPal, but you can also check out with a credit card if you want to. Okay, now my transaction is complete. And you can see now that I am now the registered owner of the domain cliftontutorials.com. And from here, I can now go ahead and manage my domain. I can make any kind of changes that I need to and basically set it up. And you can see I have a lot of domains with Namecheap because I've been using them for several years and they've been absolutely excellent. Okay, great. So where are we? We've completed step one of what we were doing here. Step one was to purchase a domain name. And we've now done that at namecheap.com. So the next step is to purchase a hosting account. Okay. Now, what is a web hosting? What is a web hosting account? Web hosting is a service that provides the server and technology needed for the website or web page to be viewed on the internet. Website files and assets are hosted or stored on special computers called servers provided by hosting companies. Most hosting companies require that you own your domain in order to host with them. Now, remember what I said earlier, sometimes you are able to purchase your domain at the same time that you are purchasing hosting, and I will demonstrate that for you here in a few minutes. Some examples of web hosts include SiteGround.com, WP Engine, Cloudways, and Liquid Web. Now, I always recommend SiteGround for a hosting provider. I've been using them for several years. They have fast, reliable servers. They have exceptional customer service, and they are highly rated in the hosting space and have a variety of affordable hosting packages to suit every website need. We personally use SiteGround for hosting our websites and have done so for quite a long time without any problems. If you want to purchase web hosting, you can purchase your web hosting at cliftoncreativeacademy.com/hosts. This is an affiliate link and I earn a commission for the recommendation. It does not affect the price you pay for the web hosting. You are not required to purchase via this link. However, it does help us continue to provide the tutorials for free. So thank you in advance for using our link. Now let's get our hosting account. So if you want to get your hosting account and you visit that link, it will actually take you to siteground.com. And when you get there, you will see all the information on all the packages that they offer. So the initial packages are usually web hosting, WordPress hosting, WooCommerce hosting, and cloud hosting. And don't be confused by these. They just name them different names, but a lot of them actually have a lot of the same features. So the one that I typically recommend that you get is the WordPress hosting. You can also get the regular web hosting, but if you get the WordPress hosting, it's kind of more set up more towards WordPress, which is what we're going to be using in our on our host. Okay. One of the great things that also comes with it is it comes with a lot of great features. So they can even help you transfer a website if you already have one. They have website building tools, and they themselves are experts in some of the software that is used to build websites, and have excellent support. So a lot of very successful companies use SiteGround for their hosting needs. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on Get Started, and we're going to use the WordPress hosting option. Okay, and you'll notice that there are three options: Startup, Grow Big, and Go Geek. Startup is $3.95 a month. It allows you to have one website, 10 gigabytes of space, and 10,000 visits monthly. The next one is Grow Big. It's $5.95 a month, and the unlimited you get unlimited websites. So instead of one website for a few dollars more, you can have unlimited websites, 20 gigabytes of web space, and 25,000 visits monthly. Okay. Now, one of the things I will tell you is that I typically recommend this middle version here. Okay, this is what I typically recommend because you're allowed to have unlimited websites. One of the things that you'll find is once you get used to building one website, you'll find that you'll want to build another one, and you don't want to have multiple hosting accounts for that. You just can use the simple Grow Big option and build a second site if you want to. Now, the next level above that is the Go Geek, and this one, it's $11.95 a month. You just get a little bit more web space for it, and you get 100,000 visits monthly. So it's about 4 times the amount of monthly visits. So if you're thinking that you're going to be needing this much monthly visits, then go ahead and get the Go Geek. I have multiple accounts with SiteGround. I have everything from their Grow Big to the Go Geek to even their cloud version of services, and they've all been pretty wonderful. So if you're just getting started though, get started with the Grow Big. That's pretty much all you'll need. Okay, so what you'll want to do is you want to click on Get Plan. Okay, and you can see here they're asking if you want to register a new domain, or if you already have a domain. Okay, so we already have a domain, so I'm just going to say we already have a domain, and we're going to put the domain that we just purchased, which was cliftontutorials.com, and click proceed. Okay, and now it asks you for all your information. And so what you'll want to do is go ahead and put in your information. So I'm going to put in my information, Clifton at Clifton Creative Academy.com. Okay, we're going to put in our information here. So because I already have an account, I'm not really going to create a real one here. I'm just showing you what you need to do to be able to create an account. Okay, so fill in your credit card information. And then here are the hosting services that we selected. Now, you have an option of choosing 12 months at $5.95 per month, regularly $19.95 a month, but now you'll pay $5.95 a month. But you can also select for more months. So you can actually say, well, I want it for 24 months, or I want it for 36 months. Okay, I think that getting the 12 months is fine. It gives you a chance to try it out for a year. And then if you don't like it, you can always switch, but I'm pretty sure you're going to like it. Okay, then they have the extra services here, which is automatic, and if you're not using it, then that's fine. And then you're going to confirm that you've read and agreed to the SiteGround terms of service, and you would like to receive SiteGround news and special offers if you want to hear from them. And then you would click Pay Now. So your investment for 1 year of hosting for your website is only $71.40. If we add that to the amount that you paid for your domain, which is about $9, so for about $80, you will be in a position to go ahead and start building your website. Okay, so I'm going to stop here in terms of signing up. The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory, and I'll show you what happens once you're done signing up and what your login looks like once you've logged into your website. Log into your hosting account to be able to set up your website. Okay, so we've gotten our hosting account, and our next step now is to go ahead and log into our hosting account and take a look at what's in there before we move to the third step, which is installing WordPress. Okay, so let's take a look at our hosting account, and you're gonna click login. Now, when you purchase your hosting, SiteGround will send you all your credentials and the like, so you'll know what your username and password is. It's going to be the one that you selected when you were creating the account. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. All right, and this is what the SiteGround hosting account looks like. So you have home, my accounts. You can actually have multiple accounts with SiteGround. So in this case, we only have one. Okay, and then we can go to our cPanel to be able to view all the different tools and technologies that we have available to us to help us with website building. But before we do that, we also have a support tab, your billing tab, any referrals, and you can add additional services if you want. So when you log in, you will be at this page, at this section, which is the home. Go ahead and click on My Accounts, and then select Go to cPanel. Now that you're in cPanel, you will see all your account information here on the left. Okay, the domain that you actually purchased, if you purchased your domain through SiteGround, will be here. But we didn't purchase our domain through SiteGround. We actually purchased our domain on Namecheap. And this specific account that I have is actually I believe this is the GoGeek account. So I have the GoGeek account. Let's take a look here. right? So I have the GoGeek account. So this one is not, it's not the one that I recommended. I recommended the middle one. This is the actually higher level one, but it doesn't matter. It all looks the same. Okay, so we're gonna go here to back to cPanel, and I'll just go through these sections with you really quickly. Here is where you do all your domain management. So when you have domains from a registrar, this is where you're gonna be able to come in and configure that domain. Here are your installers, and there are different ones, okay? But the one we're gonna be focusing on is WordPress. Then there are site improvement tools. There are even additional WordPress tools, okay, here. So we have things to update, caching, and so on. And then we have other software tools here, and then here's if you want to host your emails through your web host, you can do that here. And then this is your file manager where a lot of your website files will be. Here's where you can create additional databases if you want to. And then all your statistics and security are further down at the bottom, okay? So what we want though is we want to be able to add our domain to this account, okay? So I want to show you something. So if you look at the account right here, you will notice there is an IP address, okay? We want our domain to point to this IP address. That way we can go ahead and add that domain as an add-on domain to our website, okay? Another way to be able to do that is we could also use name servers. Now the name servers also help you point a domain to your host. It's a way, think of it as a way to connect your hosting account to your domain name. So we can either do it via IP address or we can do it via name servers. Okay. In this case, we're going to do it via the IP address. Okay. Right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this IP address. I'm going to go back to my Namecheap account. I'm going to search for my domain since I have so many, and I believe it was Clifton Tutorials. There it is. I'm going to select Manage. And then I'm going to go to the Advanced DNS. Now, in a later video, I'll explain why I use the A record or the IP address to configure the domain rather than the name server. Okay, but that's a tutorial for a different video. Okay, so right now I'm in Advanced DNS, and here you can see all the different host records for this domain. There are already 2 here. We're going to add a new one. So click on Add New Record. We're going to select a record. We're going to make the host the @ and we're going to paste in that IP address that we selected, which is right there. I'm going to make this 30 minutes, and I'm going to click the check mark, just like that. Okay. Now, sometimes it can take a few minutes to propagate, and sometimes it can take as long as 24 to 48 hours. I rarely have ever had it take that long. So, but in this case, I know it'll run through fairly quickly. So sometimes you may do this and you'll find that you'll need to wait a little bit in order for this to propagate. So, but let's see if this propagates fairly quickly. So we just added it. We did give it a time to live, what's what TTL stands for, of 30 minutes to propagate. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, back to my cPanel. And one of the things that we can do to test to see if this is pointing, if this domain is now pointing to SiteGround, is I can just copy this URL here and I'll paste it in a new browser window. And you can see that it is now pointing to SiteGround just by adding our IP address. Okay, so now that means that I can then go back to cPanel, and under the domain management section of my cPanel, I can click on add-on domains. And then I'm going to go ahead and type in my domain, cliftontutorials.com. Okay. It's going to populate the next 2 areas for me. And then I can create a password for this add-on domain. Then I'm going to click Add Domain. Now that the domain is added, okay, we can go back to our cPanel. And if I go to File Manager, you will notice that Clifton Tutorials is now an option in cPanel. Okay, so now I have it added to my SiteGround hosting account, which means I can now proceed to install WordPress and start building my website. So now we are ready to move forward with the third step, which is to install WordPress. Okay. Now, what is WordPress? WordPress is an online open source website creation tool written in a programming language called PHP. It currently powers over 30% of the websites on the internet today and is one of the most powerful website content management systems in existence today. Now, if you're thinking about building a website for your business, your blog, or other personal endeavors, the WordPress content management system is a phenomenal choice to use as the backbone of your web presence and a powerful foundation for your website. Now, where can you get the WordPress open source software? So WordPress is open source, meaning it's available for free. And it is available for free download at wordpress.org. So you can go to wordpress.org, which is this right here, and you can click on Get WordPress, and you can download the latest version of WordPress, which at the time of this recording is 5.2.2. Okay. Now you do need to be familiar with how to use a content management system and how to specifically use WordPress to build things. And that's what a lot of our tutorials is going to be about. But the main core software is free. I want you to think about WordPress as, in a sense, it's a lot like, the best analogy I can give is it's a lot like sand, right? Sand is available everywhere, but you can use sand to build all kinds of things. You can build houses with sand. You can make mirrors with sand. You can build beaches with sand. You can build bridges with sand. There's all kinds of things you can build with sand. But you do need the expertise on how to build a house. You do need the expertise on how to build a bridge. You do need the expertise on how to build roads, right? So, but the core material is free, and that's how WordPress sort of operates. And that's why you'll find that a lot of people have built some incredible websites or incredible platforms using WordPress as the foundation for those platforms. Okay. Okay, so now let's go ahead and proceed to install WordPress. The first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and access our SiteGround cPanel home, or if you have a different hosting provider, maybe you have one already, and typically they all are using cPanel. So I'm using SiteGround because to me this is the easiest way, it's one of the easiest providers to be able to install WordPress fairly quickly. So you're going to go ahead and log in. Now when you first log in, this is the screen that you will see. Go ahead and click on My Accounts, go to cPanel, the red button right there, and go ahead and select WordPress right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and select that. Okay, so now you're on the WordPress installation page. Okay, and right now we want to go ahead and install. So I'm going to click on this blue install button. Okay, it's going to say choose a version that you want to install. Okay, we want to install this version. We're going to choose the installation URL. And with that, I'm going to go to cliftontutorials.com. That's what I want. Now it gives you the option of HTTP and HTTPS, right? And you see here how it says a trusted SSL certificate was not found. Okay, now I'm going to have to sort of branch off here and let you know an SSL certificate. SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer. And if you look here in the browser, you can see this padlock with HTTPS. And basically what that is it's a security feature that is saying that the information that's being transmitted through here is encrypted. Basically, it is secure, right? And recently, Google has required that all websites have this HTTPS. Otherwise, in your browser, it will show that this is not a secure website. Okay, so we do need to have an SSL certificate. Now, SSL certificates are typically available for sale from your domain provider. In our case, it was Namecheap, but you can also get it at GoDaddy. But fortunately for us, because we're using SiteGround, we can actually use a SSL certificate called Let's Encrypt that is provided entirely for free in your SiteGround account. So I'm going to go back now and install the SSL certificate, and then we'll come back and install WordPress. So if you're here, go to Home. Okay, I'm going to go to My Accounts, go to cPanel, and let's scroll down to the Security section, which is right here. And you'll see a padlock with a yellow lock on the top here called Let's Encrypt. We're going to click on Let's Encrypt. All right, and here we're going to select the domain that we want. In this case, it's cliftontutorials.com. And we're going to say we want the Let's Encrypt SSL certificate for this domain. So I'm going to click Install, and it says successfully installed SSL. I'm going to say OK. Okay, and then we can now go back to our cPanel. And you know what? Let's check to make sure that it's already installed. Okay, so now we can see that it's been installed. You see it right here, cliftontutorials.com Let's Encrypt is now active. And so what I'm going to do is right here it says select an action. I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to click on HTTPS settings. And what I want to do is I want to force it, I want to enforce it on all links that have to do with this domain. So now it's set to on. Okay, I'm going to say OK. And now I can go back to cPanel and proceed with the installation of WordPress. So I'm going to click on WordPress, install, select the cliftontutorials.com domain, and now it's perfectly happy with it. Here where it says in directory, I'm going to leave that blank. And then here we get to configure our site name. So I'm going to call this Clifton Tutorials. And the site descriptions will be Clifton's WordPress tutorials. Okay, I'm going to leave the enable multi-site part unchecked. And here we get to choose the name of the account that you want. You can choose an admin username and admin password. I like to change this to something that I will remember. And then the admin email, put that in as well. I'm going to set the language to English because that is what I speak here. So set that to English. And then here it offers you some plugins to already go ahead and install. I'm just going to leave those alone. Okay. And here we have the WordPress starter. So it gives you sort of the easy setup with selection of themes and plugins already installed. I like a clean install. So I'm going to uncheck that because I don't want it installing anything additional. Now, under the advanced options, you don't have to do this, but I typically recommend that you do it. Just go ahead and open this up. Okay, and here you can see your database name. Now, WordPress requires a database to operate. Okay, and the database is usually prefixed with something like a WP something or WP stuff like that. And in this case, this is actually fine, but I like to change it to something that's closer to what the site is. So since it's Clifton Tutorials, I'm going to change this database name to C Clifton Tutorials. Clifton Tutorials. So I'm going to change this to C Tuts. Okay. And then here the table prefix, I'm also going to make that C Tuts. All right. And then leave everything else as is. Now you don't have to do this. This is just an extra thing that I like to do. But go ahead and leave it like this. This helps me sort of find the database when I need to by the name of the domain because I have multiple domains. Okay, so now you go ahead and install. And usually this does not take very long. It usually happens literally within a few minutes. All right, and just like that, WordPress is now installed. So now we can go and check to see what our website looks like. Okay, so if I click on the URL here, cliftontutorials.com, it will open up for me. And this is what our install looks like. This is the home page of your future website. I know it doesn't look like much, but like I said, WordPress is open source software that is the start for what you're going to be building. So you can build a blog, you can build an e-commerce site, you can build a business website, but this is generally how it starts, and this is the default theme. In a later video, we're going to cover how to change this into something that is absolutely beautiful. But for now, this is the starting point that we wanted to get to. And then now we can decide what kind of website we want to build. Okay. All right. And that ends it for our tutorial on how to install WordPress quick and easy. If you really like this tutorial and you appreciate the information that I shared, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as I will be releasing more videos on how to use WordPress to create amazing, beautiful, and effective websites and even start a web design business. Remember to hit the notification bell so that you get notified when those videos come out. For now, this is Clifton with Clifton Creative Academy. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.